Welcome to Dropping In with Hope. The session today will be all about self-love and practicing the expression of it through tender touch, gentle affirmations, and guiding of awareness throughout the body. With Valentine's Day coming up, I figured it's a good time to practice the individualized love and care that we all need to have for ourselves. I am a strong believer in the fact that you cannot share the love that you have within until you've filled up your own cup. Because if you give it away, then there is a lacking from within. When you give it away, you're expecting a return on investment. That's not always the case. Your best bet is to first love yourself so much that it overflows and rains down on everyone and everything around you. In honor of this year's Valentine's Day, I wanted to share a little I love you session that I'll do for myself. I've done with students and I've done a number of different times, but I find this to be a really nice, grounding, self-appreciation practice. Go ahead and get comfortable. I'm choosing to do an easy seated position. I've got access to both of my feet. My knees are bent at a relatively comfortable angle. I can always twist or move, generate a little bit extra motion. I find that my body does a lot of unwinding, spiraling. I don't know a whole lot about the spiraling, but I believe it has to do with that release of upward pressure, the unlocking that occurs through the process of opening up and expressing and expelling through the body. So taking the hands, we're going to put your left hand the center of the chest in the heart space, and then the right hand's going to go at the base of the rib cage just above the belly button. Three-part breath: hips, belly, shoulders. Exhale. Inhaling hips, belly, shoulders, and exhale. Inhale hips, belly, shoulders, and exhale. Inhale hips, belly, shoulders, and exhale. Before we begin this expression of love for the self, start applying pressure on the hands against the body, against the abdomen, the rib cage, and the chest. Begin to turn your attention towards your own frame and acknowledge that you have a body and this experience of consciousness through a physical body. And think, thank you, body, for without you, my consciousness would have no tool to explore and move throughout the world, to build perspectives and admire as well as aspire. I love you, body. I love you, heart, under my left hand, pulsing, sending blood and nourishment with oxygen into every cell of my being. I love you, lungs, working in tandem with the heart and the stomach, taking those nutrients we feed ourselves, infusing them with oxygen, and transferring it into the blood. I love you, digestive system. I love you, lungs. I love you, heart. I love you, rib cage and chest, for all working together and existing as one. I love you, shoulders. I love you, collarbone. I love you, throat and neck. For without you, I would have no bandwidth connecting the consciousness of the intellect into the physical form of the body manifest. Opening your hands, allowing them to fall, palms up on your legs or into your lap. Allowing the echoes of the I love yous to expand and roll around inside of your chest. I love you heart, I love you lungs, I love you stomach and liver and kidney and spleen. I love you gallbladder, pancreas, and all the other organs. I love you arms with biceps and triceps. I love you elbows and forearms. I love you hands through which I am able to connect and to commune with other people. The dexterity that makes me an intellectual being is partly attributed to the functions of the hands, our abilities to manipulate and to handle tools. Thank you, hands. Thank you, arms. Thank you, elbows and shoulders, neck. Thank you, head. I love you, head. I love you, shoulders and elbows, muscles and joints. I love you, hips and low back. I love you, stomach and intestines. Thank you, large intestines, for pulverizing and pulling out the fats and nutrients that nourish the blood and are propelled through the body by the heart. I love you, small intestines, for pulling water and reducing my waste to only the things that can be secreted when not used. Thank you for being efficient and always telling me what's up with my body. Your digestive system never lies. Thank you, stomach. Thank you, internal organs. I love you, small intestines. I love you, large intestines. I love you, stomach, kidneys. I love you, bladder, bowels. I love you, glutes and hips. I love you, thighs, knees, hamstrings, and quads, calves, and shins. I love you, ankles. I love you, toes. I love you, legs. I love you, torso. I love you, arms. I love you, head. Take a moment, return to that 3-part inhale, hips, belly, shoulders. Exhale. I love you, hips. I love you, belly. I love you, shoulders. Returning the hands, left hand, center of the chest, right hand, above the belly button. Drawing the forearms against the rib cage, feel as though you're giving yourself a gentle hug. Nothing extreme, not very big, just a delicate touch. Again, listing the parts of the body, starting at the toes, finishing with the crown. I love you toes, big toes, second, third, fourth, and fifth. I love you feet, the soles, the ball, the arch, the heel. I love you ankles. I love you calves. I love you shins and knees, hamstrings and quads. I love you hip flexors and glutes. I love you reproductive organs and secretion operations. Bowels and bladder, uterus. I love you small intestines and large intestines. I love you stomach. I love you kidneys. I love you liver and spleen, gallbladder and heart. I love you lungs. I love you shoulders. I love you scapula and lats. I love you forearms and biceps, deltoids and triceps. I love you wrists and fingers, palms. I love you neck and jaw. I love you tongue and throat. I love you sinuses and nose. I love you eyes, the lashes, the lids, the ball, pupil, iris, and all. I love you inside of the skull. The cortex, the pineal gland, and the pituitary gland. I love you energy that rises up and out of my crown. I love you hair. I love you eyelashes. I love you eyebrows. Thank you, body, for existing and offering me an example of what it means to be alive in the world and a direct reflection of how I treat myself. May the external be a reflection of your internal offerings and workings. May the generosity of your heart and the compassion deep within be evident in witnessing your form as you interact and engage throughout the world. I love you ears for allowing me to hear. I love you eyes for allowing me to see. I love you nose for allowing me to smell and tongue to taste. I love you senses, hands and feet, equilibrium and balance. I love you anxiousness and concern, for always teaching and always guiding. Because good or bad, who's to say? Returning to the 3-part breath. I love you hips. I love you belly. I love you shoulders and chest. Exhale, release. 2 more, hips, abdomen, shoulders. And exhale. Last one, hips, belly, shoulders. Exhale. Release hand either down into your lap or open on the knees or thighs. Take a nice deep breath in. Holding at the top, make an audible exhale. 2 more, just like that. Inhale. letting go of the extra control, that extra push. Find a natural, even tone that works for however you are feeling right now. Whenever you are ready, you can physically hug yourself or just open your eyes and say thank you for showing up, for practicing, for giving it a try, and for just loving the body as it is. And knowing that no matter how you feel to your body right now, you can change that through practice. The first step is acknowledging there's something you want to change. The next step is doing something about it. So if any time you had a negative or adverse reaction to an area of the body that I was calling love and attention to, just make note and edit that internal dialogue so that it becomes a more compassionate operation, so that you can really be your own cheerleader and have the best intentions. Because caring for yourself is caring for other people, and sharing is caring. Thank you for dropping in with me today. I hope it was as good for you as it was for me. Until we meet again.